Hi, welcome to the Blindfold Challenge. My name is Tammy. I'm the Siberian Wind, and unlike a lot of the other content creators that you might see in this particular hop and challenge, I am not a card maker. I am a quilter. So I'm joining with the Blindfold Challenge. We're a group of creators for International Disability Day awareness, and we're navigating our craft spaces and creating while blindfolded. We're hoping that it will be a lot of fun, and we're trying to raise awareness of the struggles or obstacles that disabled people might have and might overcome. There's no fundraising involved. This is only showing solidarity, and it's for all disabled people, whether your disabilities are visible or invisible. And there's visible ones like blindness and paralysis, but there's invisible disabilities, lupus, fibromyalgia, mental illness, MS, lots of them. So we're here to join in that support. So watch as I create a quilt or attempt to create a quilt block. Thanks. Now that I'm actually doing this, maybe I should have pinned everything in advance. That set is through. What I'm doing to tell my fabrics is I put one clip on the fabrics that are one category, and I put two clips on the fabrics that are a different category, and all of them are right sides up, and they are all starched to make it a little bit easier to hold. And of course, you hear the dog in the background playing with his toy. Oh. Let's see. And I'm using the side of my presser foot as a guide for where the fabric needs to go. And do I think this is going to be perfect? No, absolutely not. But as long as we're close, then we're good. And I am trying to remember, so that time I used the one clip fabric on the bottom. So now I'm going to use, or on top, so the one clip fabric is going to be on bottom this time. So I'm just getting one fabric each time. I'm hoping the two clip fabric is apparently better starched than the one clip fabric. This is definitely more challenging to line up because I can't really feel the edges like I thought I could. So, but I am using, again, I'm using the edge of the presser foot, and my finger is right beside the presser foot. So instead of having a guide on the presser foot, my finger is that guide, and then my other hand is using the fabric, or feeling the fabric as it's going underneath the needle. So my fingers are staying on the presser foot. They're not they're not going underneath. And I know I've got 2 stacks of each fabric. Oh, did I pull? It felt like it was more. Yep, that was more than one. That's the one fabric. So let me clip it back in. Okay. I want to set that down without. Okay, there's fabric. Okay. I set it down without flipping it, I think. So we're going to hope that I flipped it just then. I think I could get into a system to do this. I think that would actually work. All right. There's my cross off it. There's my fabric. I knew this would be challenging, but it's definitely not as challenging as it would be for me to hand sew. I think hand sewing for me would be so much more challenging because I'm not familiar with hand sewing enough to do it without help. Right, there's my one fabric, and it's going to be right side up. There's my 2 clips, and it's going to go right side down. And this definitely not be good for directional fabric because I definitely could see myself, well, not see, but I could definitely imagine that I am probably turning these all different ways as I'm matching them up. And I did cut an even number of the fabrics for each category. So by the time that I'm done, there should be an equal number of everything. All right, this is the 2 clip. I'm going to move these clips to a different side just because I'm having trouble unclipping 2 at the same time. There's that one. All right, 1 clip. And I guess I should have silenced my phone too. Oh well. I'm just moving fabrics around to see if I can feel. There we go. There's a corner of that fabric and corner of that one. It definitely helps when they're very heavily starched. It feels more like paper than it does fabric. And it's a little bit easier to tell when you hit the edge. And definitely makes it a little bit easier. And lining it up to the machine. Okay, so 1 clip was on top last time, so 1 clip's going on bottom. And I guess I need to also start counting because I wanted to do 8 rows down and 8 rows across. But I don't really even have any concept of how many I've sewn because I can't see it. So that's definitely unexpected. I wasn't even thinking ahead to whether or not I could even see that. Oh my goodness. And not flipping these, I think, is going to be the biggest challenge. I don't know how I'm doing so far. But I also didn't think about once I've sewn these together to sew them together for the next section. I definitely want like that checkerboard look to this, and I did not think through how I'm going to make sure that I am getting that checkerboard look, like how I'm going to tell for sure, because I don't even remember which pile I put on top or bottom to begin with. So I think I would have to creatively count maybe or something. Maybe I wonder if, because I usually piece like this, I piece chain stitching, chain piecing like this. Maybe it won't be as hard as I think to piece the next row, but I'm assuming it will be hard. I was gonna do this live, but there's just no way because my schedule was not gonna allow that anyway. So if you're watching this and you are thinking about doing something like this, or you've never thought about what it would be like to do your quilting or sewing blindfolded, do you think you could do it? It would definitely be a challenge, that's for sure. It's not second nature if, you know, you've been able to see for how many ever years and suddenly you're not. But do you think you could do it? Alright, so we're going back to a 2 clip on bottom and 1 clip on top. And having a system definitely is helping. Like, I don't know, like I can't see obviously what, you know, what it's looking like right now, but having a system to how you feel your fabrics and how you sew and being comfortable at your workstation really does play into this. Because I don't think I could do this like at a retreat or something. Like, I don't think I could use Quinn, which is my travel machine. I don't think I could use her and do quite as good of a job, because I would be reaching and stretching to get there. So all right. And some of this fabric is definitely not starched as well as some of the others. So I feel like there's a mismatch, and I'm not sure if they're actually cut the exact same size, and there's no way for me to tell. So using something like the AccuQuilt to cut fabric would definitely come in handy. I hope I'm not screwing up the order of these. Let's see. I'm hoping that I can feel it better by tilting my head, which is so silly. I don't know if that's really the case or... So yeah, I think if I had clipped all of these together in their pairs, it would be a lot faster. I could blow through this just easily, but I didn't think about that part. I just thought about how many pairs this would be, and they would create that checkerboard look. So we're gonna see. Okay, that was a 1 clip on top, so we're gonna go 1 clip on bottom. I hope this video is not boring. I hope it's just me thinking it's dead air, and I'm not used to recording blindfolded for sure. I'm used to recording, but not blindfolded. It's definitely different. I think that was one clip on bottom, so we're gonna go one clip on top next. Okay. So, and I don't even know, like I don't think I clipped these necessarily half and half. So I don't know if it's going to come out to being half across or what. And I am rotating the fabrics till I find the best starched corner, and I'm lining up those corners. That is tending to feel like it looks right. Feel like it looks, yeah, not that I can see it, but it's beginning to feel right to me. I don't know if there's a way that I could do curved seams though, especially if they don't have any notches or registration marks or anything like that with them. I think curved seams would be beyond what I could manage doing this way. That one's almost empty. I got 2 stacks each up here, so we'll see. And if this is going to run over, then I may speed the video up through some of the sewing. So just know I will tell you at the end how long this block took me once I got it completely sewn. Have to cut thread, so I'm going to use my separating tool, which is easy for me to use without looking and without feeling. So I'm using my foot to grab the bottom of my supply. All right, so here's the beginning. Let me see if I can locate. There we go. All right, I've got a couple of clips. All right, so if I open this out this way, there we go. Then I'm going to put a clip here. That's the side I need to sew on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I need to cut between 8 and 9. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that my needle is up, which it is. I'm going to cut this other edge on the edge of the machine so I have some room. All right, I'm gonna grab the first side of my 9, the side that I'm not sewing on this time, and we're going to go to the beginning of my first strip. I'm really glad I put that clip in place. I'm really glad I put it in place. All right, so I'm going to open that out and hold those together. And I'm going to move the clip out of my sewing way. And then we'll open these up as we go. And again, just matching up those sides as best as we can. Not being able to see it, obviously, just having to do it by feel is a whole new level of challenging. Okay, so that's as close as I can tell. And that is underneath my foot. And I may have a little bit of a thread nest at the, yeah, I definitely have a thread nest at the beginning. So that would be one thing I would need possibly to figure out how to not do next time. All right, so we're going to open this next one up. And keeping them attached really does make this easier, so that if I did get them right the first time, that we won't have any repeat problems. It just means that when I go to line this next one up, I am going to struggle a little bit because I don't have the wiggle room to bring it all the way up to where I can feel it better. Like I can feel it on the table, but it's not as easy to feel on the table. Okay. And again, I'm using my finger as the seam guide against the edge of my presser foot. Oh, I can definitely tell that one's going to be off. Oh, I can tell that one's going to be off. All right. Let's see if I can line this next one up better. See if holding it up just a little bit makes it easier to line up. Okay, there's that corner. And it's definitely working in a tight spot, trying to do it this way. Okay. There's my presser foot. Yeah, I'm definitely not sewing accurately. Definitely not. My 1/4 inch is probably going to be way off. All right, here's the next piece. And I guess I could have paired these up one at a time and clipped them and had a little bit easier time doing this, but then again, where's the fun in doing it that way when you're not used to doing it that way? All right. There's my presser foot. Oh, I feel like there's extra fabric up underneath here. It should not be. Yes, there was. Okay. There's extra fabric in the way that I was about to accidentally sew into. That would not have been good. All right. That one open. This one open to go on top. I think the hardest struggle with this is the talking to myself feeling, because I am not used to talking to myself out loud like this. I'm used to talking with a purpose or talking to people who are chatting with me live. Definitely doing this without that background of what I should be talking about is challenging. Alexa, cancel alarm. So my alarm just went off to tell me that I've exceeded my 30 minutes. So this video will be sped up. And actually, what I think I will do is, how many do I have left on this? I have 2. Okay. I will sew through these 2, and then the rest will be finished out off video. So you guys can see what I was able to accomplish in 30 minutes of sewing while blindfolded. And again, that's without having, access to, or that's without having pinned things in advance and having to figure things out as I went as well. So I really cannot feel the fabric on my table. When it comes to lining things up, I just cannot feel it. It blends into my table so much. Okay, this is the last one to go on blindfolded, and then I'll take off the take it off the machine and show you guys what I was able to do, and you guys get to see my reaction. So okay. Oh, I'm still attached. Okay. All right. Blindfold off. Oh. Okay. So I definitely messed up at the beginning. My pieces are not, oh, I've got them twisted. So I twisted my 2 rows. So a lot of them are the same fabric up against each other. So that's not going to work for a checkerboard. However, I have 1 row here that will work for a checkerboard. So as promised, I did time how long the quilt block took me to create, and that was about 40 minutes. So I did shave off a little bit of time and sped up a little bit in there to be able to give you a better picture of what I was actually able to complete. And no, I could not complete it all blindfolded. It was definitely more difficult than I imagined that it would be. And I've learned a lot of tips and tricks along the way that would help me in future challenges to see if I can actually sew unassisted while blindfolded in the future. So I look forward to participating in this challenge in the future years. If you haven't checked out the other content creators who are participating in this challenge, I invite you to do so. There's links in the description box below this video so you can go check them out. And if you didn't catch them live, don't worry, there should be replay available, as well as checking out the other content creators who also did recorded videos. So thank you for hanging out with me. If you liked this content, please give the channel or give the video a thumbs up, give my channel a subscribe, and feel free to leave me some feedback and tell me what you thought. Did you think I did a really good job? Did you think I was going to sew through my finger, which I didn't? What did you think of today's challenge? And I look forward to reading all of your comments. I usually do respond within 24 to 48 hours. So I look forward to seeing what you have to say. And thank you for joining me. Until next time, bye.